Time for a round of Bucket or Brick, presented by Jack in the Box. Jaxson Hayes stepped in for AD last night against the Grizz, 14-7 on 6 of 7 from the field. Bucket or Brick, Jaxson has exceeded your expectations this season.
Whew. This season, I mean, I'm going to brick that.
What? I take everything back that I said about you
That's my
earlier.
favorite part about this game.
Aim for this one.
You just want to throw it at Brez.
I'm going to throw it Brez. Just because it's not entirely his fault. I don't feel like he got a fair shake at the beginning of the season when they went small and kept going small. But he looked great against Memphis. Like, he was active. He was doing the little things. He was eager to set screens and rebound and make the right defensive reads. And it hasn't been that way all season. So that's why I brick it, just because he hasn't been consistently contributing. But lately, I think we should be encouraged.
Because of him, or though?
That's what I'm saying.
What were your expectations then?
What was he, like the 8th pick in the draft?
Let's
Like,
go back and read your
like
diary
that,
the day they signed him and what you wrote to yourself about him.
What's that?
Let's go back and read your diary the day they signed him and what you wrote to yourself.
No, expectations were not that great at the time that they signed him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm saying, given his talent, given the fact that there were some opportunities when other guys weren't seizing them during the course of the season, I feel like he could have done more.
You knocked that out of the park. Way to answer that. I was just giving you a hard time.
All right, fair.
Well done, Brez.
This is a bucket for me, and here's why. I actually felt bad for Jaxson Hayes. He was one of the first guys to sign with the Lakers during the offseason, and they were like, hey, he might even start alongside AD.
Right.
There was that conversation.
There's a lot of big expectations of him. That all went out the window when they signed Christian Wood just a few weeks before training camp. And I'm sure Jaxson Hayes was like, oh, damn, because Christian Wood and he are completely different players. Christian Wood has had a better career, has put up better numbers, and Jaxson Hayes kind of got forgotten a little bit. So to me, my expectations went from pretty high to pretty low after the signing of Christian Wood. And now I kind of like how he's been. He's been good when called upon, hasn't always been called upon, but that was a huge game for the Lakers to get. No way they should be losing to Memphis. That would have been a really terrible loss, for lack of a better word. It did not happen in part to Jaxson Hayes.
But over the course of the season, he hasn't seized those opportunities. Christian Wood hasn't lit anything on fire. And then, like I said,
they kind of canceled each other out. I see what you're
Rui
saying.
wasn't doing the stuff that they wanted, defensively and rebounding. So it could have happened.
Yeah.
Given,
I hear
given
what you're
his
saying.
ability. That's all I'm saying.
So
You're not wrong.
Essentially,
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I'm actually
We're both kind of in the
hold
middle. Oh, Allie's distracted.
I was going to ask you something.
She's
I
looking
saw
up her
on
Facebook friends that I know.
No, basketball reference, something under Jackson's name, but I'll ask you guys after this. Austin Reeves got his second career triple-double against the Bucks, 29 career-high 14 boards, 10 assists. Bucket or Brick, Austin will have a 15-board game one day.
Huh.
Wow, where'd that question come from? Interesting.
I'm gonna brick it. It's because I feel like throwing a ding.
Blocked.
Dang, good dodgeball move right there.
That's right.
By the way, Phil Jackson once took a look at all of us beat writers. I don't even remember what city we were in. It was pregame when you could have a little fun with Phil. Looked around at all of us. He said, Kevin Ding is in the best shape of all of you. We were like, hold on a sec. Yeah, I was running half marathons and 10Ks at that time, and Brad Turner was, 15 years younger.
Like most of Brez's stories, it has a kernel of truth.
Explain it to us, Kev.
He embellishes?
No, it was along those lines. It was like this guy, this player, so and so. He's athletic, like Ding.
Yeah, and we're all like, hello.
There you go.
So
that is actually not even the same. Like, Brez completely missed that.
Yeah. Mine's better, obviously. Yeah.
Well, he looked at all of us and he settled on you, so he must have been by.
I'd rather be athletic than in shape, fundamentally. Well, yes, that's more value.
That's funny.
So, anyway,
I don't even remember the question.
Austin Reeves, 15
Yeah,
board
that seems
game.
like a lot.
You bricked it.
I bricked it. That's a lot. He's doing great. Don't get
I'm
me
going
wrong.
to bucket this because I'm on board for anything Austin wants to try. He can do. He'll figure out a way. He will, master some subtle technique that adds 3 boards, and he finds contact.
He's not
he figures
Westbrook.
out.
He's not one of the best rebounding guards of all time.
He's honestly, talk about not appreciating LeBron. step back and this guy, undrafted guy who comes in and delivers this kind of impact, figures out a way to do stuff and doesn't get tired somehow, despite all the stuff that's placed on him the past couple of years. Really impressive.
I looked at him late in the game last night, and I was like, his his lips look like they were turning blue.
Yeah.
I was like, he looks so tired, but obviously coming off of, he played 48 in Milwaukee the night before.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But makes it look so easy. All right, play and matchup preference edition. Okay.
Okay.
Bucket or brick, Warriors are a better matchup for the Lakers than the Rockets. The Rockets have won 10 in a row.
I am bricking that all day long. For the Rockets, 10 in a row they've won.
Yes.
Doesn't change the fact that I don't think anybody on their team that plays really is older than 30.
Fred VanVleet.
I think he's 29.
He's around there.
And so you're talking about playoff situation. I will take experience and savvy, strategy, adjustments in game and next game.
Even in a one-game situation?
Well, that's why I say in game and next game. Like it requires a level of focus and planning that inexperienced NBA players just don't know how to do, no matter how much they're coached up.
Okay. Yeah.
So I fear guys who know how to win, especially at the playoff level. So Warriors for sure would be more frightening to me.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Houston, nice push here over the last few weeks, but where were you the first 4 months of the season? I mean,
They were there for a minute.
yeah, and Şengün.
But a minute only.
I think they would miss Şengün against a team with a really good center like AD. I don't think the Lakers fear the Rockets. And yeah, like Ding said, the experience. Hey, the Warriors, whether Steph was crying last night in his jersey or not, after Draymond got ejected 10 seconds into the game, I don't know. But that team still has a lot of savvy and a lot of scoring and a lot of, as our friend Robert Ory would say, a lot of veteranism. So
I was going to say one game,
Yep.
7
Give me
game.
the Rockets.
Do not need to see that team.
Correct. Give me Cam Whitmore, who he's never played in anything close to the playoffs.
Yes.
Bucket or brick, Suns are a better matchup than the Kings.
Ooh.
You want to go?
Yeah, I got to bucket that. Just based on the head-to-head. The Lakers 0-4 against the Kings. I still don't really know how, Kev, but it happened. I was like denigrating the Kings privately all year. Like, okay, this team finished third in the West last year, lost right away in the playoffs. They're nothing. Lakers are a better team, but I still don't know how that happened. But apparently it happened. And they went 3-2 against the Suns. So, yeah, 3-2 versus 0-4. You tell me, Kev, who's better?
I'm sorry, I got to brick it.
Yeah.
And bucket it. Both.
Brick Bucket?
Playoffs, similar to what we were just talking about as far as veteranism, but talent is also something that you can flip the switch in the playoffs and try harder, focus better if you have talent. And the Suns have so much talent that I want no part of dealing with guys that you just cannot
I want no
stop.
part of Kevin Durant.
And I admit that I think I've been thinking the Kings are over it. I thought the Lakers would beat the Kings twice, here the past month. It didn't happen. So
think how much better the Lakers would be situated in the standings if they went 2-2 against the Kings instead of 0
You know how
for.
nuts that game would be if it had to be in Sacramento, Lakers
Oh,
games?
I know. So many cowbells. You missed all that good times when Phil
Oh,
Jackson.
I heard it on the broadcast. I was like, if you all don't move this cowbell from this television monitor, oh my God.
Yeah, that's all because of Phil Jackson. Because when they were having these battles in the early 2000s, the Kings and the Lakers in the West playoffs, Phil once referred to them, and Ding, you were covering the team at this time.
Right.
He referred to the fans, maybe even the entire civilization of Sacramento as, quote, semi-civilized people.
Yeah, there was some. He called them redneck in some form or fashion.
That's right.
He was all over them. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so they started bringing cowbells because they were semi-civilized and rednecks, according to Phil Jackson, and they kind of made a little comeback whenever they played the Lakers. I noticed when I was up there a couple weeks ago. It's loud. It is really loud.
All right.